Blackish is a show about a middle-class African-American family that is working together with the parents coming from two different backgrounds trying to raise their children.
Even though the show is funny, it has a positive meaning behind it. The meaning is they argue but they always come to an agreement in the end. Now let's talk about Andre Johnson. He is an father, husband, and son, but his personality is something but he means well by it in all honesty. But let me explain, he tends to think of himself as the alpha male in his household until he's checked by his wife or father.
He is extremely confident in himself, coming across as arrogant, self-centered, and egotistical, something he passed to his oldest child, Zoe. In reality, he can be a bit of a punk and a coward, something constantly noted by Pops, his cousin Junebug, Ruby, and Diane. He plays favorites among his kids and can be emotionally abusive on some occasions. Usually with Junior, it was only one time that it actually got physical. However, at heart, he is very sensitive and caring for his family, even if it never appears that way. And that's quote 1 is for quote 2. He is very proud of his black heritage and hopes to pass that pride on to his kids, but fears that suburban life has softened them up. Adding to his stress is that Dre works in a toxic, sexist, and extremely racist work environment, calling it Boston in the 80s, and refers to his co-workers as idiots, dum-dums, or insane when they give him twisted advice on how to address an issue going on in his household. He usually knows when to differentiate bad advice from wrong advice while giving them daily lectures on black stuff, though on occasion he does when the advice isn't typically seen as crazy. Based on what I got out of them, it basically saying he has a big ego and sometimes his ego needs to put in place, but as for workplace, keep feeding his ego as well. Now we're talking about flashbacks, and we see that in episode 1 season 1 when Andre talking about his childhood, and which the pictures show child version and teen/young adult version, or Andre as he's talking. In my opinion, there should not be any more shows like this, even though they made like 2 other ones, but to me it's confusing to understand and a bit hard to get into. Shows like this are funny, I'll admit, but there's always some meaning behind it that some always miss, but I can understand why. Well, that's my input on the show and the end of my project. Hope you enjoy.